We continue on with building the mountain right now on Reed's Train Stuff. Hello, welcome to Reed's Train Stuff, model train and how-to videos. So if you're building a model railroad and you want some tips and ideas, or you just like seeing trains around, well, hit subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos. Oh, welcome back, or hello if it's your first time here. Today I'm going to continue on with my diorama build, part 6. As I said, if you're new here and you haven't caught up with my previous parts of this build, I'll put a link to it just up here. So today we're going to start putting on the plaster over the white styrofoam to make it, take away that horrible white look and make it more look like a mountain. I'll just show you some tips and ideas and tricks I use, and hopefully you'll find it useful. So let's get into it. Alright, we're going to continue on fixing up the mountains, hillsides. But this time I'm going to be using the this blue foam I've already cut out. So I'm going to run it where I've got this here for the profile of the little hill. I'm just going to cut that so it fits in nicely like that. Go on top. This one, let's go up there. So I've got this little bit, I might just put over here and shape that into a bit of a hill there too. So, alright, we'll get this stuff stuck in, eh? Just using the silicone cork, as we always have. This time, I'll put it on the bottom of this. Okay, so we'll just let that, put some weight on that, let it dry, and we'll come back. Alright, so now it's all nice and solid here, so we'll just start cutting it. Now you could use something like a hot wire knife, but I don't have one, so I'm just using this box cutter with a nice sharp blade in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off down here, where I've got the profile of the mountain, so I'll just bring that through there. Yep. Not working as well as I thought. That's alright. There. There. Like I said, it's basically the same as when I did the white foam. It's just random. No need to be precise on anything. Use my hand. That. But as you see, that's starting to take shape, so I'll continue on with this and we'll see what it looks like when I'm finished. Alright, so that's it all cut down to make it look more like a hill or a small mountain. Same techniques I used on the foam. I just you see, got some grooves going down there. Just all cut. What I did use was just grab one of these sanding blocks and just ran that around over the top of it just to knock off all the sharp edges. So down there, get a different angle there. So alright, so well, that's ready to move on to our next section. One thing I want to quickly show you, one thing you should invest in, a pair of these. They're track cutters. I don't know if you can see, but they're flat on one side and they're like that, so makes life a lot easier to get a nice smooth flat edge on your roll when you cut it. So just move in here. I'll just quickly show you. So you get the flat edge, line it up where you want to cut it, just a bit like that, and then just knock that the other way, a bit like so. There you go, nice straight edge, so it's easy to fit your rail joiners on. So anyway, just thought I'd give you that quick tip. Alright, so I'm going to start putting some plaster over the mountains so you don't have big white everywhere. Like when I use my plaster, I just use, like I use those, which these are actually just old napkins, but you could use some paper towels, something like that, or as I said, you can also do this with sculptor mould, so you do it completely different. So let's just start whacking on, eh? So anyway, I get the napkins, I just put a bit of plaster over them, and I just proceed to just put them on over like that. So you can actually, the other way you can do it, you can just get the plaster, put it on like that, pick up a napkin, and you can just put it in like that. And I find what the napkin does, it helps make a smoother edge, and I also think it acts sort of like as a reinforcement, sort of like the Rio bar when you're doing concrete and stuff. So there you see, put a bit more there. Yep. I love this part, it's so messy. So you just keep on doing that. A couple of layers, and I'll continue doing that, and we'll come back and see how it looks in a minute. Alright, well there you see, it's coming along nicely. All I've got to do is quickly cut things. When you actually do it, I don't know if you can see it there, it's a bit hard for me to focus in, I've got plaster everywhere. You get a few rough bits when you first do it, so you just get some plaster, just go over around where things are a bit, you can see edges, and just run it in like that. Another good thing you can use is just get an old paintbrush and just run it down. Just gives a little bit of texture. Helps sort of spread it out a little bit. So that's basically, it's fairly simple, but once you get the plaster on, as you can see also, I forgot to mention, always cover your track, obviously, and I put a little bit of light candy paint into my plaster just so that way when you if you want to put trees in or something, you drill through, you're not going to have white plaster where it comes out brown, and when you do your scenic, you're not going to have any white come through, which makes life a bit easier. And one trick I did forget to do is before you actually put it on, spray some water onto the foam, which helps the adhesion of the plaster. So anyway, I'll continue on with this and we'll have another look a bit later. Alright, so now I've got all the plaster over everything, so let's just go over a bit of a closer look, eh? Yeah, as you can see, nice coverage. You can see a few of all those daggy bits come through, but that's quite alright. It adds a bit of texture when you actually do your scenery. A little like there, like little folds where the paper towels or napkins that I use. But it just adds a bit of character on the rock face when you actually finish it off. Those. That one's actually a bit wider than I usually have. Let's get it all down. So it's covered up all over here. I just ran out of plaster, so that's alright, I'll be able to fix that up with a bit of paint and the ground covers. This way. As you sort of see, I just added a few little, add the profile on the fascia, just used some plaster there and filled all that up. So anyway, so that's all that done, so now we're ready to go on to the putting on the landscaping. Alright, well that's how I put my plaster down to get my base for my scenery. There's many other ways you can do it. I said I like to put that little bit of paint into my brown paint into the plaster, it just helps that way when you're putting trees in, you don't have all that white powder coming up from the plaster, and also when you've got it over the rest of your scenery base, you don't have any white coming through, because as soon as if you have a white just pops out, it's amazing. So I said you could use sculptor mould. I've said I'm not too sure if you can actually put paint with that, but I can't see why not. So anyway, that's this part we've done. So next, my diorama build, we shall continue and start getting into the scenery and putting in the landscaping and all the greenery and stuff on. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos. Give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone you think might enjoy it, and of course please leave a comment down below. Anyway, so that's it for this one. We'll see you on the next diorama build, part 8 I believe. So we'll see you next time on Reach Train Stuff. Thanks.